Hello, good evening all, and welcome to today's session. And today's session is on sentence completion strategies. So, in this session, we'll learn about the techniques that will help us solve sentence completion exercises. We have already discussed these techniques in the class. Since we've been in vacation for the past 2 months, I feel most of the students might have forgotten the techniques that we have discussed. And as you are going to have your drive soon, I thought of making a video so that it will be useful for you, okay, for your preparation. So let's not waste our time and let's start the session. So the techniques, as far as the techniques are concerned, there are many techniques, but generally what I suggest to my students is, the first thing is you should avoid reading the option choices first. I've noticed many students committing this mistake. Before they actually understand the statement, they'll try to read the options first, and this actually sometimes shows a negative influence on you. If you don't know the meanings of the options given in below the question, you may lose your confidence levels. So please avoid reading the option choices first. Okay, fine, and please avoid it. It's a very bad habit. Now let's now try to understand what are the actual techniques. Now this is a simple question, and first tell me, what is that you actually do when you have to solve sentence completion exercises? What is that you generally do? Now here is an example for you. Among his friends, Ravi is blank. Now let's take this example to understand a few of the techniques. So now to solve this question, what is the first thing that you are going to do? Think about it. Okay. My suggestion to you guys is, first understand what parts of speech should be used to fill this blank. So the first technique is understanding the grammatical category of the word that we are going to use to fill this blank. So understand the parts of speech first. So let's say Ravi is blank here. Here we are going to speak about the quality of Ravi, characteristic of Ravi, feature of Ravi, which means you have to use an adjective, right? So see, parts of speech, when I say parts of speech, you have noun, adjective, verb, adverb, conjunction and preposition, and of course interjection. And now you have understood that you need to use an adjective here. So if you look at the options, now look at the options. Okay, now let's say you have got 5 options. Among his friends, Ravi is blank. Option A is verb, B is noun, C adjective, D adverb and D adjective. We have already decided that we have to use an adjective to fill this blank. So what we can do here is we can eliminate option A, B, D, since their grammatical category is different from what we are searching for. We are searching for an adjective, so you can eliminate option A, option B and option D. Okay, you can go either with option C or option E. Okay, so with this we can understand that understanding the grammatical category or the parts of speech helps us eliminate few of the option choices. Now you may have a question in your mind: how do we actually understand the grammatical category of a particular word which I haven't heard before? That means, how do we understand the parts of speech of the new words? Because there might be some words which you might not have heard before. Maybe it's completely a strange word to you. For to overcome that problem, you need to understand suffixes. When the suffixes help you guys to understand the grammatical category, because suffix is that part which is actually added at the end of the word to change its category. For example, see, look at this, a word imagine. Imagine is basically a verb. Now here I have used 3 different suffixes: tion, ive and ly. So imagine, when it is added with tion, it becomes imagination. So you have converted a verb into a noun. Now ive, so imagine when joined with ive, it becomes an adjective, imaginative. And then ly is an adverbial suffix. Imaginatively is an adverb. Okay, So I want you guys to concentrate on suffixes and learn as many as suffixes possible, because suffixes will help you understand the parts of speech or the grammatical category of the words. Now there is one more example, TION, educate. TION is a noun suffix. So by adding TION at the end of the words, you can convert these words into nouns. Educate, when joined with TION, it becomes education. It's a noun. Organize, organization. Imagine, imagination. Compile and compilation. So all these words have been converted into nouns. Now OUS, there is one more adjective, OUS, and this is an an adjectival suffix. So gorgeous, precious, delicious, meticulous, and vivacious, these are all adjectives. And now there is one more suffix, and that is ATE, and this suffix is a typical verbal suffix. So when you see words ending with ATE, you can mostly you can understand that these are all verbs. Educate, allocate, collocate, aggregate, and segregate, these are all verbs. Fine. So now ly, you must have heard ly lot many times actually. Beautifully, joyfully, delightfully, cleverly, politely, joyfully, peacefully. Anything that ends with ly mostly is an adverb. So ly is an adverbial suffix. So learn as many suffixes as possible. You can Google to get the list of Greek and Latin suffixes. You get plenty of information online. So I recommend you, yeah, of course, the list of suffixes is also available in the CAD book that you guys bought. I don't know how many of you guys have seen it, but I want you guys to give a reading to all those suffixes and try to get a good command over these suffixes. It makes your job very easy as far as sentence completion exercises are concerned. Okay, so now can you guys guess the parts of speech of these four words? So bounteous, gregarious, arduously, and strenuously. Yeah, it's easy. It's very, very easy, because you have already learned that OUS is an adjectival suffix, LY is an adverbial suffix. So beauteous and gregarious, these two words are, bounteous and gregarious, these two are adjectives, and arduously and strenuously, these two are adverbs. So now, see, look at the same example. Among his friends, Ravi is blank. Now option A. So what we are searching for here? We are searching for an adjective here. Ravi is what? You are supposed to use an adjective here. So now what you need to do is you need to eliminate the other parts of speech from the option choices. Option A, intelligence. Is it an adjective or a noun? It's a noun. Option B, introvert, adjective. Option C, enthusiastic, adjective. Option D, churlish, adjective. And option E, sociable, adjective. So only one word can be eliminated here, and that is intelligence. Okay, so now I am eliminating option A, okay, with the help of the technique that I have just learned. So what is that technique I have learned? I need to first concentrate on the parts of speech that should be used to fill the blank. Okay, clear? Now what I'm searching for? I'm searching for an adjective. So I'm going to eliminate option A since it's a noun. So option A can be eliminated here. Okay, now comes the second question. And now comes a question, and that question is, now B, C, D, E, there are four adjectives. Now which word should I pick now? Okay, so what word should I pick? Here comes the second strategy. Remember, in the exams you won't be given questions like this, because here you can use any one of these words. You can use either B, or C, or D, or E. Use any of these words, the sentence gets completed. You can say, among his friends, Ravi is introvert. Among his friends, Ravi is enthusiastic. Among his friends, Ravi is churlish. Among his friends, Ravi is sociable. You can use any one of these four option choices to complete this statement. Okay, and the sentence gets completed, and it is also meaningful. So you won't be given these kind of questions in the exams. In the exams, you would be given questions wherein you are also given a clue with the help of which you should find an answer. So I'll show you how the examination questions would be. Look at this example. Among his friends, Ravi is blank. He can introduce himself to people whom he has never met before and interact with them well. So here met is missing actually, whom he has never met. So please write there whom he has never met. Okay, whom he has never met before and interact with them well. So the second technique, the second technique that we should keep in our mind, the second strategy is that this one: search for clue words, clue phrases, or clue sentence. So as I told you, when you are given a question, you should also understand that the question itself comprises the clue, and this clue helps you find or pick the correct option. Okay, so in this question, the clue is this particular statement that is in red color. You have a clue sentence here, you have a clue statement here, because these lines tell you about the quality of Ravi. See here, among his friends, Ravi is blank. He can introduce himself to people whom he has never met before and interact with them well, which means this man might be very friendly with others. So I feel that this guy is very friendly. He doesn't hesitate interacting with the strangers. He doesn't bother speaking with the people. Okay, this man might be talkative. This guy might be friendly, because these lines tell me about his quality. So here the hint sentence, with the help of the hint sentence, we can understand that this guy might be friendly or talkative. Okay, so these are these are my own words. I feel that he could be friendly or talkative. These are my own words. So the second strategy is that you should concentrate on the clue words and should come up with your own word. Okay, because unless and until you find a clue word or a clue phrase or a clue sentence in the given question, you cannot answer the question. Because if you understand the clue statement, then only you can come up with your answer. Okay, clear? Fine. And the third thing that you should keep in mind is, so once you understand the clue word or a phrase, you should also understand whether the option that you are searching for has a positive meaning or a negative meaning. Is it a positive connotation or a negative connotation? Positive context or negative context? So here he can interact with others means he is friendly, he is talkative, it's a positive word. Okay, fine. Now look at the options here. So the first technique, what we learned, the first technique is you should understand the grammatical category. This is the first technique, understanding the parts of speech or grammatical category. And the second suggestion that I gave you guys is search for clue words or clue phrase or clue sentence. This is the second technique. Now let's try to apply these two techniques and try to answer this question. Among his friends, Ravi is blank. So in this blank I need to write an adjective. So first I'll try to eliminate the options which are not adjectives. Option A is intelligence, and this is the only word that is a noun, so I have eliminated it. And then I told you to concentrate on the clue. Yes, I focused on the clue and I thought friendly and talkative, these are my own words, and I also understood that these two words have a positive context. So I am searching for an adjective which is positive in meaning. Now introvert is what? Introvert is a synonym for reserved. So reserved nature is negative in tone, so it's negative actually. So you can eliminate introvert because you are searching for a positive word. Next, enthusiastic. Yes, enthusiasm is positive. It's adjective also. So it could be our answer. Let's see. And the next one is churlish. Churlish may be a new word. You might not have heard this before. So let's keep it aside. Churlish is a new word. Okay, and I don't know whether it is positive or negative because I don't know the meaning. Okay, keep it aside. Next one is sociable. Sociable is positive. Okay, sociable is positive because sociable means what? Sociable means interactive. Okay, so what I've done here is I have eliminated two options. Option A is eliminated with the help of the first technique, grammatical category, because it's a noun. I have eliminated. An introvert is negative. I'm searching for a positive word, so I have eliminated introvert. Now I need to pick one from C, D, E. Okay, when you learn these techniques, this is what you can do. Okay, so there are 5 options, out of which 2 have been eliminated. Now you have got only 3 options, and from the 3 you need to pick one. So this now your job has become easier. Picking one from the 5 is difficult from picking one from the 3. All right, so now my fourth suggestion to you is Don't pick a word because you don't know the meaning. So generally, there are candidates, who have a tendency of going with the words, for which they don't know the meaning. Okay, see here, option C, D, E. I know enthusiastic is positive, and I know that sociable is also positive, but still, sometimes I go with churlish because I don't know the meaning. So what I think here is it could be the answer. It could be the answer. There is a possibility. So I tell you guys, please do not throw stones in the dark, and do not ever pick a word because you don't know the meaning. And at the same time, I have a contradictory statement here. Don't leave a word because you don't know the meaning. Okay? Don't pick a word because you don't know the meaning, and at the same time, don't leave a word because you don't know the meaning. Okay? See, only thing that you should keep in mind while solving sentence completion techniques is you should apply all these techniques carefully, and you should pick the most appropriate word that fits the blank. This is what you're supposed to do. Okay? Now, I told you to keep churlish aside and concentrate on these two words. Option C, enthusiastic, positive and adjective. You are searching for an adjective which is positive in meaning. Enthusiastic and sociable. Now, what you need to do is, now you need to relate these two words with the hint word or a hint phrase or a hint sentence. Now see which of these two words is more similar, I mean more close in meaning to the one that is given in the clue sentence. So I thought this guy might be friendly and talkative, right? Enthusiasm is positive, but every person who is enthusiastic may not be friendly and talkative. He may not be readily interacting with others. Okay, you may be enthusiastic, but it doesn't mean that you always go and interact with others. You are very talkative. No. Okay, but sociability means interacting with others. It is positive, of course. It is positive, and at the same time, it has something that is suggested in the clue sentence. So here I'll go with sociable as my answer because I feel that sociable is something that is very close to the meaning given in the clue sentence. Okay, clear? This is what I actually do. Now you may have a question, what about churlish? See, churlish, I don't know the meaning. Let's say I don't know the meaning, which means 100%. My understanding about churlish is completely, I'm damn sure that I don't know the meaning. So I don't want to throw a stone in the dark. But when it comes to sociable, yes, I know that sociable people are interactive. So I can go with this. Sociability is friendly and talkative. So what I've done here is, first I tried to understand the clue sentence very carefully. And with the help of the clue sentence, I have created my own words, friendly and talkative. And then I tried to look at the options, and I've tried to see which of these option choices is very close to the meaning of my own word, the word that I've got in my mind. And I feel that sociable is very close. Clear? So that's what you need to do. Now let's try to understand. Actually, churlish means very rude. Okay, it is quite opposite to sociability. It's rudeness, churlish. Fine. So let's try to recollect once again like what we have discussed. So I told you, don't read the options first. Okay, do not ever read the options first, because let's say 2 or 3 option choices, you don't know the meaning. Naturally, you lose your confidence. It shows a negative meaning. And always keep in mind that sentence completion, exercises are actually given to test your ability to solve the questions even if you don't know the meanings. So this comes under problem solving. It's not like very simple exercises. Okay, this is almost similar to problem solving. That is why verbal ability is different from regular English exercises. Okay, and the second thing is, second suggestion, search for clues. Okay, concentrate on the clue word. This is very, very, very important. Unless and until you guys understand the clue statement, you cannot answer the question. And if there is negative marks, like banking exams, SSC, and if you go for GATE exams, when you have negative scores, I recommend you guys to leave the question. If you don't if you cannot actually find the clue, or if you cannot understand the statement, better you leave it. Okay, better you skip it, because if you go for it, if you don't know the answer, you score negative marks. And third one is come up with your own word. Once you understand the clue sentence, you need to come up with your own word. And if you can come up with your own word, if you can understand the clue word, and if you can think like, this could be the word, okay, that means you have understood the sentence well. Now you need to immediately look at the options. Now you need to search whether the word that you got in your mind is given in the option choices or not. If you do not find the same word, then there might be something which is similar to the word that there is that is in your mind actually. And then eliminate the options. Eliminate the options by using these techniques. Simple techniques. One is parts of speech and the other one is clue words. These two will help you to eliminate the options. And of course, when you actually understand, when you understand the clue words, you need to see whether this is a positive word or a negative word. That is also very important. And finally, mark the answers, and that answer must be a correct answer. So you have to mark the correct answers. That's all about sentence completion techniques, and we'll be discussing a few more questions. I'll be discussing the questions directly, and I'll be sharing more videos with you. Thank you so much. Hope you have understood the techniques and hope you enjoy listening. Thank you.